of all, I would like to give a disclaimer that the stocks discussed here are strictly for educational purpose and not any you know like any recommendations, because these are the examples to make you understand the patterns and concept to select stocks. So if you're investing in these companies, then please consult your investment advisor. And I might or might not have any position in the stocks, so please consult your investment advisor so that he or she can guide you as per your risk appetite. Yeah, so moving on. India, a multi-billion dollar opportunity, right? These are the quote from some of the great big names in the industries like Samit Varthak, whom I follow very closely. So this guy said that today's Apple's market value is the same as all the listed companies in India. And if you had the money, which would you buy for the next 20 years, right? And then RK Damani, like the best time to invest in India is today. The opportunity in the next 20 years will be greater than those in the past 20 years. And this is what like Jeff Bezos said. Like, I want to make a prediction for you. I predict that the 21st century is going to be the Indian century. And this all like foreigners and Indian people, big names in the society, are so bullish in India. But the problem which I see in our country is that like the people of India are not so bullish in India. They are not so optimistic in India, because whenever I go and speak with my friends and everyone, they are of the mindset that they want to start a business in US, they want to go in Dubai, or they want to go in Singapore, they want to do something there. But I don't find any reason like why they don't want to start in India itself, because like I see that India is going to be the the opportunity for the next decade. So that is like one of the big thing which I never understand. And so until and unless, like, and as I said previously, that top in the top 10 Google search, out of the top 10, two is for government jobs. So people are so like, they want to play it so safely that they don't want to take that much risk. So that is the one thing which I would like to change. I want people to become more you know kind of risk takers, so that they can be a part of this growth opportunity. Because see, the point is that if we are going to participate in this India's growth story or not, India will grow irrespective of our participating or not, right? If we are not going to participate, then those foreigner investors will come and invest in India. Those US and Chinese companies will invest in India. And we will always remain employees of those uh, big companies. So yeah, that is the one thing. And and we will always have 25 companies with all the profits, and 25 applications with all the users, and 25 entrepreneurs with all the popularity. So it's high time that we have to change our mindset and attitude towards the country, towards the equity and everything, so that we can like benefit from this India's growth story. So yeah, let's move on. So today I will be speaking of instead of speaking for any stocks, I would like to speak for the patterns which I use to select those companies, so that you guys can understand the process behind picking those companies, right? So the first pattern which I follow very closely is the strong distribution. Yeah. So if you see the any successful companies, like they all mainly in consumer companies, like large distribution is one of the biggest competitive advantage for the companies to scale up their business and continuation of growth. For example, like if you got 10,000 distributors, and then you can keep selling the new products in the same distribution channel for higher growth, right? And uh, so give you one example. Basically 500 years ago, the person who used to entertain were poorer than the person to whom they entertain. But slowly, as they found distribution, then the person who entertain are richer than the person who's been entertained, right? Because they got internet, they got stage, and they got cinema. In short, they got distribution. So that's the power of distribution, right? And like in the past, 5 7 years, I've met like more than 50 companies, including starters and all. And the one thing which I found very common in all the entrepreneurs was that everyone was like, ki, if I get money, I can do anything. And I'm sure many of you have heard the same, because I've been hearing this since long, that if I get money, I can do anything. But I will tell you one thing: in today's time, if you get the distribution, you can do anything, right? And so let's move on to the examples of like company like Havels. So if you study the business model of Havels, like they did the same thing. So they started with wires, and then they expanded it into switch, and then they started manufacturing fans and light bulbs, everything. And every time they were coming out with a new product, they were doing the same thing, they were selling it to the same distributor. And so that led to the massive growth in companies like Havels, Relax, and Kajaria. Yeah, and so there's a company called PABP Foods and Beverages. So this is an unlisted company where I've invested in 2018. Yeah. So in this company, like the first time when I was investing in this company, there were so many people who told me, basically my friend, they told me that you are going to lose your money by investing in this company. There are companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi in this industry, and like what you are doing, you are like throwing away your money in such a junk company. So I said one thing, like who's going to compete with Coke and Pepsi? Like India is such a huge market. We have a population of 130 plus crore. Even we can reach this sales of 100 crore. We can make a massive money. And fortunately, last year we in like in just 3 years we closed the uh, this company with a sales of 15 crore. And yeah, so the basically the we also use the same model, so it's a distribution led model, and we have did a sales of 15 crores without spending any money on marketing. So now many of you will ask that how you can do a sales of 15 crores without spending any single penny on marketing. So again, it's a power of distribution. Instead we are using the same money, the marketing money we are using to pay the margins to the distributor, so that they can push our products to the retailers. So yeah, so this was all about the distribution. I just want to show you about the power of distribution, that if you find a large distribution or in any company, it's worth studying the company. So don't miss this company. So these are the trigger point. It's not that if you find any company with a large distribution you should invest in that company. No, it's not like that. That should be the trigger point. You should start your study from those companies, right? So again, let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, now this is very interesting. Power of parent support. So in India, basically, I have observed this pattern. Any company with the parent support can able to scale up and grow their business really fast in very less time compared to their competitors. Mostly, what happens is that they get the technical know-how and all the uh, net, networking support from their parent. And if you see the companies like Bajaj Finance, so they started giving loans to the customers of Bajaj Auto, right? And they started with their parent. They were giving loans to the customers of Bajaj Auto, and once they understand the lending business very well, and then this again like expanded into the consumer lending. So they took advantage of their parent. And again, if you took the example of SBI Life, I mean, like they also did the same thing. They like their 50% revenue comes from the amazing branch network of SBI Bank. They are using the branch of SBI as a leverage, right? So any companies with a parent support and with good networking will always do well. And recently I've bought this company like last year, Apollo Tricot, with the same pattern. So this company, what happens is like the Sanjay Gupta, I'm a big fan of that guy. Like I would strongly tell everyone to just go and study about Sanjay Gupta. uh, this guy knows marketing and sales to the core. I mean, and on in Feb 2019, he took over this company based still, and he like he changed the name of that company to Apollo Tricot. And they come up with all the distribution and the technical know-how and like networking of APL Apollo, another company, listed company, and they replicate the same on Apollo tricot. So they got the entire support of that Sanjay Gupta, and this company has like moved from 130 to like 600 in a like in just 18 months. So that is the power of parent support. So this is another amazing patterns which I follow very closely in the market. If I found any company with great parent support, I will definitely study those companies. So yeah, now like the third pattern which I would like to speak about is the power of brand. So any companies who are building a strong brand, it is worth studying because once you create a brand, then you get the pricing power, and you also get to connect with the end customers. So okay, basically I'll tell you one very interesting story of Maruti. So basically in 2014 अपने को सबको पता है लाइक एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज आया था इंडिया में वी लाइक द लॉन्च ऑफ ओला एंड उबर for the first time, and for the first time we started booking cab through mobile phones at a single click. And so whenever I used to go out of my building or on road, मतलब कुछ दिखे या ना दिखे, मुझे एक चीज हमेशा दिखता था, ओला उबर का स्विफ्ट डिजायर. सो स्विफ्ट डिजायर वो इटसेल्फ में अपने खुद में ही एक ब्रांड बन गया था, राइट. एंड I even I went to the dealers and uh, all the showrooms in Calcutta, like 4 5 showrooms in the Calcutta. मैंने बात किया उनसे अबाउट स्विफ्ट डिजायर, एंड एवरीवन टोल्ड दैट कि स्विफ्ट डिजायर का वेटिंग पीरियड इज लाइक मोर देन 3 to 4 month. लाइक अगर आज आप वो बुक करोगे तो आपको 5 महीने बाद वो गाड़ी मिलेगा, राइट. उनका इतना हाई लाइक वो वेटिंग वो था पीरियड. And then that was a common sense to buy Swift Desire because and I also have a word with couple of drivers जहाँ पे they told me that so Swift Desire का major like big competitor was Tata Indica. And compared to Tata Indica, the all the like servicing में Swift Desire was the best car. और commercial vehicle में और उतनी like high level पे कोई गाड़ी नहीं थी. So I remember like in 2015 around I bought this company, and in less than 18 months in 24 months this company has moved up like more than 150%. So this is the power of brand. Once you get to and I would strongly recommend everyone to read one book, One Upon Wall Street. So how I bought Maruti was from that book only. So जब मैंने वो book पढ़ा था for the first time, Peter Lynch talk about buying companies around you. तो आप जो भी शॉपिंग मॉल पे जाते हो या कुछ भी प्रोडक्ट आप यूज कर रहे हो या जो भी फोन आप यूज कर रहे हो, उनका कंपनीज आप देखो वो क्या कैसी कंपनीज है, एंड यू शुड स्टडी दोज कंपनीज because you itself you are a customer of that company, right. And that is the reason how I got to know about Maruti, because I started observing things around me. If you are in the market, then observing is one of the best skill which you can have. And if like if you see the business model of Hindustan Unilever, they have some great amazing brands like Horlicks, Dove, Lifebuoy, and Sunsilk. And if you see the like EICHER motor ka bhi same case hai, like they have bought Royal Enfield, like so this all companies have done one thing, they have built an amazing brand which can connect with the end customers. So if you find any company which which is creating a great amazing brand, you should definitely like study that company. Who knows, like that might be the next multibagger. So yeah, now this is one of the favorite pattern on which I'm working recently. Power of community-led companies, right? So okay, so companies in the post-COVID world, I believe are likely going to be the community-led businesses. The modern businesses and starters are focusing on building a community. So I will tell you one interesting thing. If you are an entrepreneur today, or please listen this very carefully. If you are running any company, so like you are likely to succeed if you are going to build a audience before you build a product, right. I will repeat this, like if you are an entrepreneur today, you are likely to succeed if you are going to build a audience before you build a product, because having hundreds and thousands of people behind you supporting you like anything is one of the biggest competitive advantage which you can have in 2020. So this is likely the case with all the edtech companies. If you see their business model, like they're creating a community, right? And again with Instagram, if you see this, like what Instagram did was like they created a community of people with influencers and create, yeah, this is an interesting company like by Kunal Saha. I'm a big fan of that guy. I would strongly recommend everyone to just go and study about this Kunal Saha. Like I believe he's one of the best business mind in like in this world. So they are also doing the same thing. They are also building like a community of people with a high CIBIL score, and interestingly, the crate call their users as members, which is also signaling about building a community. And so yeah, the companies which so unfortunately we don't have so much companies listed in India in this space, but there are some companies which can be relatable with this community led business model. So companies like IndiaMart and Naukri are few listed companies in this space, which you can relate with this. So IndiaMart, what IndiaMart is doing is like they are building a community of people with people who deals in B2B business, and Naukri has created a community of people people who are looking for jobs. So personally, I've been invested in IndiaMart, but again, I would like to use this as a disclaimer that please consult your investment advisor before like buying or selling any company, because these are not any kind of recommendation. I'm using this company's name just to to like teach you about how you can select and pick companies using these patterns, and my buying price may be much lower level. So please consult your investment advisor so that they can guide you as per your risk appetite. So yeah, now moving on to the next one. uh, okay, so intention of the management. Uh, like this is by far one of the most important patterns which I look for in every company. So intention of the management is like recently I was watching an interview of Madhusudan Kela, and what he said was that the quality and intention of the management for minority shareholders are the two most important framework for identifying multi-baggers. Titan become multi-bagger because Tata had the intent for making money for the minority shareholders. They didn't issue variants to themselves, and they saw big opportunity ahead, right? So what is the intention of the management? Whether they want to make money for the shareholders is very important in while choosing any company. And so I'll use a case study of XELPMOC Design. So this is the company. I'm sure many of you must be knowing that I've been very bullish since long. Uh, uh, so okay, so I'll try to explain you in a very simple way why I have choose this company. So let's see. There's a startup called Mehoop where XELPMOC used to own 9% stake, and the Sandipan Chattopadhyay, the founder of XELPMOC, used to own 2.4% stake. Now like around 2017, SL Partner is like world ka top comes in top VC firm, and they invested 45 crores for 20% stake, which itself translates to a valuation of 225 crores for Mehoop. Now what Sandipan did is like कि किसी भी investors को कुछ doubt now, and to remove the slightest chance of the conflict of interest, he sold his 2.5% stake in Mehoop to Zeltmock at like just 43 lakh rupees, right? And I mean like Zeltmock had the money. He if considering the SL Partners valuation, Sandipan could have easily sold this company for 5.5 crores. But uske baad bhi he sold the company only for 43 lakh rupees because he showed his commitment towards the company. And like to be honest, मतलब आज के time में I've never seen any such guy जो अपना 5 करोड़ रुपए ऐसे ही किसी को दे देगा कंपनीज को, वो भी शेयर होल्डर्स को, भाई तुम एंजॉय करो मैं जा रहा हूँ। तो आई मीन लाइक ऑनेस्टली जब मैंने ये फर्स्ट टाइम देखा था तो मेरे को एक सेकंड के लिए डाउट हुआ था। आई पर्सनली थॉट कि ओके मे बी लाइक उन्होंने यहाँ पे ऐसे पैसा दिया 5 करोड़ रुपए और वो पीछे से सैलरी हाई लेते होंगे। तो जब मैंने एनुअल रिपोर्ट खोल के सैलरी देखा तो आई वॉज इन बिग शॉक, क्योंकि लाइक उनका सैलरी वॉज लाइक 15 लाख रुपीज। एंड आई सेड लाइक only 15 lakh rupees. मतलब I know couple of CA, they are friend of mine, उनका salary is 15 lakh rupees मतलब साल का. And संदीपान जैसे मतलब उनका background जो है वो 15 लाख रुपए सैलरी लेते हैं. तो अगेन लाइक मतलब आई वॉज लाइक ये कैसे हो सकता है, दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल. तो फिर मैं और स्टडी किया इस कंपनी को. लाइक यू नो द होल थिंग इज द इंटेंशन ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट. द मैनेजमेंट का इंटेंशन क्या है, उसे मतलब पैसे बनाना है कंपनी शेयर होल्डर्स के लिए, उन्हें कुछ बेंचमार्क क्रिएट करना है, राइट. तो लाइक फिर हाँ, तो यू कैन कैन सी दैट ये जो अनाउंसमेंट था लाइक जो मिहुक का वो स्टेक मतलब जेल्पमॉक को बेचे 2.4% स्टेक, ये अनाउंसमेंट आया था 7 अगस्त 2019. So please note this point, huh? 7 August 2019. Now let's move ahead. And yeah, so this is one of the interview of Sandipan Chattopadhyay जब वो IPO का launch होने वाला था in 2019 Feb around. So this interview is with Bloomberg Quint, जहाँ पे he said that personally I have a huge hope that the retail would participate in the IPO, because the main reason for coming on the main board is to make sure that 12,000 or 15,000 checks come in, and not the SME lock-in of 1 lakh rupees, which is not really middle class. So he really wanted to make money for the like middle class and retail investors, because अगर वो चाहते तो like he would have gone to PE and private equity or venture capital, और उनके जैसे कंपनी को like anyone would have offered 300 crore का valuation, but instead he choose to come in the market, list in the main board, because यहाँ पे उन्होंने clearly बोला है कि he wanted to make money for the retail shareholders. So, I mean, this is a gold standard info, right? And it was available in public domain, and no one was bothered to go through all this detail. And ये info is of Feb 2019. तो आप मतलब वो समझना, राइट, वो ये उन्होंने वो इंटरव्यू में फेब में बोला था 2019 में, एंड ये उन्होंने बोला था अगस्त 2019 में, राइट. नाउ लेट्स सी. if we see the price of the company, ये जब IPO का लॉन्च मतलब IPO लिस्ट हुआ था मार्केट में, that time was around 60 rupees, right? And then 1 second. Yeah, that time it was around 60 rupees. And then जब अगस्त में उनका मेहुक का जो अनाउंसमेंट आया था, उस टाइम पे कंपनी was trading around like in the range of 50 or 60. And I was shocked to see that कि अब तक मार्केट ने इस कंपनी को नोटिस नहीं किया. लाइक या am I missing something और market knows something, मतलब मैं खुद कंफ्यूज हो गया था. एंड देन उनका सैलरी was 15 लाख रुपीज. तो मतलब आई was completely in shock कि ये हो कैसे सकता है, मतलब आज के टाइम में ऐसी कंपनीज कहाँ मिल सकती है, राइट. एंड उसके बाद भी आपने देखा होगा प्राइस वाज इन द सेम रेंज लाइक 50 to 60. एंड देन लाइक मार्च 2020 में एक धमाका हुआ. तो लाइक ही वाज कंटिन्यूअसली सेइंग इन द कॉन कॉल ऑफ लास्ट 5 कॉन कॉल कि वो मार्च 2020 में दिस कंपनी विल ब्रेक इवन. एंड मार्च 2020 में ये कंपनी ने सच में ब्रेक इवन करके दिखाया, जो वो एक साल से कंटिन्यू अपने कॉन कॉल में बोल रहे थे, और उन्होंने मार्च में वो कंपनी ब्रेक इवन करके दिखाया. एंड देन लाइक मैंने बोला ओके, अब लाइक आई कांट वेट फॉर मोर क्लैरिटी, इतना लाइक ये बहुत है. एंड लाइक उसके बाद भी लाइक आपने देखा होगा कि ये जब कोरोना वायरस का मार्केट क्रैश हुआ था, उसमें ये कंपनी वाज लाइक 37 का लो मारा था, आई गेस. I still remember that day, like वो 40 से 37 आ गया था. And like in a matter of 5 months, this company has went up to like 350. So it's around 10 times return, right? So that is the power of intention of the management. अगर management का intention is right, तो आप मतलब उसके प्राइस को ज्यादा देर तक मतलब कभी ना कभी वो अर्निंग्स मतलब प्राइस के साथ कैचअप करेगा, एंड मार्केट उसको स्कार्सिटी प्रीमियम देगा ही देगा. क्योंकि बिकॉज इंडिया में the main problem is like around 90% कंपनीज चोर है, राइट. तो अगर इफ यू आर गेटिंग अ गुड मैनेजमेंट, अगर मार्केट को ऐसा लगता है कि मैनेजमेंट इज लाइक ऑनेस्ट एंड जेन्युइन, तो मार्केट उसको हमेशा प्रीमियम देगा, एंड दे विल ऑलवेज like trade the company in like 50 100 kind of PE. So that is the power of intention of the management. So I always go for companies जिनका management का जो intention है वो सही है. क्योंकि like अगर कोई companies अगर 15-20% करके भी grow कर रहे हैं ना with a good intention, I'm happy to invest in that company rather than investing in a company which are growing at 40% but जिनके management का intention सही नहीं है, right. So I'm happy with 20% with good intention. So I would strongly tell everyone, up कभी भी कोई भी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो तो एक बार मैनेजमेंट का क्या इंटेंशन है इसके ऊपर आप स्टडी कर लेना, लाइक वो सैलरी कितने लेते हैं कंपनी से, वो टैक्स कितना पे कर रहे हैं, उनका आरओई कितना है, लाइक इंडिया में लाइक इफ यू आर generating 20 to 25% kind of ROE, it's more than enough, right? वो profit कैसे दिखा रहे हैं, तो this all things are very very important. And आपने देखा like the power of intention of the management, like the company become 10 times in less than 5 months. I mean, like where you get this kind of return on planet Earth. So yeah, now let's move on to the next pattern, and this is like one of the most important pattern, जो बहुत बेसिक है बट उसके बाद भी बहुत सारे लोग इस पे उतना फोकस नहीं करते हैं. What I have observed in the market, cash flow is the key. So basically like cash flow क्या होता है, like बहुत सारे लोगों को मैंने देखा है, they only focus on the companies जो profit, मतलब प्रॉफिट मेकिंग कंपनीज है, उनको बस पीएल स्टेटमेंट देखना होता है. They don't bother to check the cash flow statement. And so I will ask you one question, like, are all profit making companies really better than the loss making companies? Like it seems like a dumb question, right? Yeah, I know, but let's see matlab, dig deeper in this. So one second. So yeah, this is the case study of EICHER Motor. So EICHER Motor was a loss-making company before 2008, right? And I've read in couple of articles that the company shut down होने वाला था because they were in so much loss. And before 2008, like around 2008, Siddharth joined the company with all his team, management team, and they have the vision to turn around this company, and which they did, right? So this company has reported like net profit of 63 in 2008, then 83 in 2009. But the most interesting thing is that unka CFO, cash flow from operation, is 368 crore ka, right? But I'm sure like बहुत सारे investor ने ये देखा ही नहीं होगा CFO. They would have only seen that net profit 83 crore का in 2009, and yeah. So उनको लगा होगा ये company is in debt and all that, so they would have waited for more time. So I will tell you one thing, the reason why CFO is higher, it might be because of two reasons. एक like net profit में क्या होता है कि वो depreciation charge होता है, right? But depreciation is a non-cash item जो आपका cash flow में reflect करेगा. And the second reason is that working capital management. Maybe this company might be getting at like credit from the supplier or advance from the customer, which is also one of the great and amazing pattern. अगर कोई भी कंपनीज लाइक छोटी कंपनी अगर वो कस्टमर से एडवांस पाता है और सप्लायर से क्रेडिट पा रहा है इतने कम बेस में, तो दैट कंपनी इज वर्थ स्टडिंग. एंड वो सारी चीज मतलब कैश फ्लो में रिफ्लेक्ट होते हैं, राइट? तो दैट इज द रीजन आपने देखा कि लाइक वो प्रॉफिट आया था 83 करोड़ का, उसके बाद भी लाइक कंपनी का जो कैश फ्लो है दैट वाज 368. आई मीन अमेजिंग. And in 2010 maybe same हुआ था, like the profit was 189 but the cash flow was 336. And I'm sure like more than like 80% investor ने ये देखा ही नहीं होगा कैश फ्लो. They would have only opened that net profit and वो अपना डिसीजन ले लिए होंगे, राइट? मे बी अगर वो कैश फ्लो देखते तो उनका एलोकेशन वुड बी 5% की जगह वो 10% कर सकते थे, बिकॉज दे वुड हैव बिकम मोर बुलिश. And if you see in 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, हर साल मतलब the same thing has replicate. मतलब the cash flow is always higher than the net profit. So like this is one of the amazing pattern. And जैसे कि मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में बोला था, सभी like profit making companies का better होता है loss making companies से. तो like ये loss making companies से profit आ गया with good cash flow. And now I will give you another example of okay, so let's come in the price. आपने देखा होगा like 2009 में अगर कोई ये दिखता 83 and 368 का, if he would have bought this company around like I guess that time the price was around 30, 25 to 30. And in the next like seven like 8 years, the company has went up from 25 to 2500. It's like more than 100 bagger. So like that is the power of a great working capital management. uh, because like once you were getting advance from the customers, you can use that money. It's a free float for you. You can use that money to pay debt. You can use that money to expand your capacity. You can use that money to launch new products, right? क्योंकि आपका उस पे interest नहीं लग रहा है. And again, like if someone would have waited for so long, अगर उन्होंने वो company 2012 में भी buy किया होता, continue चार like 4 years continue, उनका cash flow was increasing and was higher than net profit. उसके बाद भी in 2012 I guess this company was around 250. उसके बाद भी this is like 10 bagger, right? I mean, amazing. And now let's come to the another example, another case study. So this is the case study of Rico India. So Rico India was a profit making company. This was not a loss making company. So yeah, Rico India का क्या हुआ था, like they are continuously reporting profit. बट उनका अगर आप कैश फ्लो देखोगे तो इट वाज लाइक 2011 में उनका 16 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट आया था, बट कैश फ्लो वाज -9. फिर यहाँ पे like around -3 -1 का लॉस था, बट कैश फ्लो वाज इन मैसिव मैसिव नेगेटिव -63 -97. then again 2014 में and 15 में it was in plus profit, and again the cash flow का जो condition था that was deteriorating every single year. उसके बाद भी क्या हुआ, like people were focusing on like PL, they weren't focusing on cash flow statement. आप देखोगे like क्या हुआ, उनका जो प्राइस है, and I was shocked to see that मतलब ये प्राइस इतना भागा क्यों, because like the company का पैसा आ ही नहीं रहा था. Company was showing net profit, and net profit can be easily manipulated, but cash flow को manipulate करना उतना आसान नहीं होता है. It's very very difficult, it's next to impossible. तो बेसिकली अगर किसी ने ये नेट कैश फ्लो और देखा होता कि उनके पैसा आ नहीं रहे बट कंटिन्यू कंपनी प्रॉफिट में, हाउ इज दिस पॉसिबल, राइट? तो उनको ये समझ में आ जाता. बट फॉर्चुनेटली ये 2015 में जब उनका कैश फ्लो वाज -222, किसी स्मार्ट इन्वेस्टर ने देखा होगा, एंड देन द like the game started again in 2015. Maybe the price was like near peak 2500, in the range of 2500 to 3000. अगर like फिर उसके बाद आप देखो क्या हुआ इस कंपनी को, like this company या सॉरी मतलब मैंने आइचर मोटर खोला हुआ था. Yeah, so like this company ka peak was 1000 rupees, and this company has fallen from 1000 to 200, more than 80%. Just like इसको इस कंपनी को सेबी ने बैन कर दिया था ट्रेडिंग, बिकॉज the management were inflating the profit and sales figure of the of this company. And like this was clearly visible in the cash flow. If you see the cash flow, this was clearly visible in the cash flow, but still investors ne profit and loss dekha, and this company went to like from nowhere to 1000 rupees. And but finally, as I said, like क्या होता है मार्केट में अल्टीमेटली जो भी like earnings होता है, जो भी कंपनी का फंडामेंटल्स होता है, प्राइस उसको कभी ना कभी कैच करेगा सूनर और लेटर, राइट? And same happened with this company in 2016. The company, like the management themselves accepted that ki ha, they were inflating profit, they were manipulating the PL statement, and this company has been banned since then in 200 levels. So yeah, so that is the power of the like cash flow, and still people focus on net flow. So I feel that instead of focusing on PL statement, we should always see the cash flow statement first. बिकॉज ये पर्सनली मैं वही करता हूँ. मैं कोई भी एनुअल रिपोर्ट अगर खोलूंगा तो मैं सबसे पहला चीज आई सी इज लाइक देयर कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट. इफ अगर कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट इज फाइन देन मैं आगे बढ़ता हूँ, राइट? एंड I believe like making money in the market is like if you can survive in the market, that is more important, right? तो कुछ पैसे के लिए आप मतलब अपना वो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट अगर आप वो करोगे तो like once you go out of the market, then it's very difficult to again come in, because capital is the main thing, right? So that is why it's very important to lose some companies, because return on capital is more important than return of capital, right? uh, so yeah, now let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so now the next big theme, which where I'm very very bullish, is like the artificial intelligence, and even I have tweeted about this some times ago. like the total amount of money which invested in AI startups during 2011 to 2018 were like more than $50 billion, and in 2020 alone, like more than $62 billion invested in like in AI startups, right? So जितने last 7 साल में जो पैसा invest नहीं हुआ उतने like we have done in like in 2020 alone. So artificial intelligence is the one space where I'm very bullish for like in the coming future. And the another theme where I'm very bullish is like the RICO, this edtech companies. So if you see the performance of this edtech company and the overall industry, it has grown like more than 10 times in just 5 years. By 2021, like the total user will be $9.6 million, and which was like only 1.6 million in 2016. So I mean edtech is the future. I strongly feel that. And there's a guy, Suman Bose. I was watching one of his interview, and he told that one of the biggest company in the world by 2020, by 2020, 45, yeah, 2045 will be the edtech companies. So yeah, you guys can go and study this two theme, artificial intelligence and edtech, where I'm very bullish. And yeah, so that's it from my side. If you have any query, you can mail me at ayush4724 @gmail.com.